C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you days 12, 13, and 14 of the 31 Days of Gel Printing Challenge that was provided on Instagram by Birgit Koopson. I am starting out with day 12, and the prompt was heart, and so I used some copy paper, lightweight paper, to cut out some heart shapes, and I'm using some paint that I got at Tuesday Morning the other day. It's like a pack of neon colors, and I used the pink and the purple there. There's green and blue and yellow and orange also, and I'm just trying them out. They were really cheap and I do notice that they are extremely translucent. Also, because I made my little mask and stencil with a piece of paper, the paper is absorbing the paint onto the hearts, and so it's not really leaving much on the plate for me to pick up in my second print. But I did put some white paint down to pick up whatever was left, and I ran a roller stamp through it to make a pattern. The pattern doesn't show up very much on this one, but I use that throughout this whole heart day, and it does show up, on other things. So now I'm starting with some darker color, some quinacridone magenta, and I put it both on my bigger plate and on my smaller plate, and then I laid what was left when I cut out all the hearts over it, and I picked up the hearts through on that other piece, so now it's got two layers on it. And I do try to use that again later, but it's too curled up and I couldn't get it to lay down. It's better if you're going to make heart, any type of masks, to use a cardstock or plastic, because printer paper, copy paper just is too weak and it tears too easily. But I continue to play with this idea using some of the neon orange, and then that bottom one is cat orange, blending those two together and picking up what was left of the magenta on the plate. This is why you don't clean it. You just end up with, ghostly images from other colors. And then I decided to really do a pickup of everything that might be on there with some unbleached titanium, which turned out really kind of cool. It's very grungy looking. And there's the print from my 6x6, picking up what was left of the paint on that one. Then I decided to try some stamping. These are red rubber stamps, and I'm rolling out the red paint onto my 6x6 and then stamping with it, using it as an ink pad to stamp onto the 12x12. Then I pick up those leftovers off of the 6x6 onto a tag. I'm making a tag book with all these techniques or prompts or whatever you want to call it, so that I remember later. I can flip through. And then I use some of the neon orange to pick that up off of the plate. I'm having a lot of trouble. I've got the fan on, and the paint is drying way too quick because I'm hot. I know, just so shortly ago I was cold, and now it was hot in my studio. And so I had the fan on, and it was drying out the paint even faster than normal, which was a little bit frustrating. But here's another print using my little cutout hearts and then the leftovers on the plate. Came up nicely on that one. And there's also some other patterning that I had used the neon pink and the neon yellow, and then run the roller stamp through it. And there's some really interesting stuff left on my 6x6, so I'm going to do crusty bits. And this one turned out, this is probably my favorite of the prints from Heart Day. Isn't that cool? I knew those crusty bits were going to be good. Heart-shaped crusty bits from that roller stamp. So there's the blue and green neon from the little pack of neon paints that I got, and decide to play with those. Putting all my little heart shapes back on. I was really trying to get some interesting patterning going, leftover pattern here. I tried and tried and tried, but the paint was just too translucent and it was drying too fast on the plate. So it really wasn't that successful, but I did end up with a lot of heart prints, and I think that one's pretty cool. A lot of them are real grungy looking like that, but they're pretty cool. So I call it a successful printing day. Something did stain me. Something blue stained me, and I have no idea what it was. I couldn't get it off my fingers, and I don't see anything that I really would have stained except for maybe that neon blue. It's kind of strange, but there's the prints. And then I'm of course going to use those little hearts too as gluing on something at some point. Now, day 13 was pigment inks, and I have a lot of stuff left over from Stampin' Up. I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator for over 10 years. Had a large organization, and then I just, at one point I was tired and I just quit. It was just strange, but I quit. And so I have all these pigment refills from their, what they called craft inks. I do not have any idea what Stampin' Up has now. I have no idea because I haven't looked at their catalog in years, but um, I have all these refills, and so I thought, well, they're pigment inks, I'll try them out. So I started out putting those directly onto the plate, and what I found was that they beat it up. Just, that doesn't surprise me. They're oily. They're viscous and oily, and I don't even know why you would want to put them on the plate. But that was the challenge. So of course I'm going to accept the challenge because that's what I do. And so I decided to put some Liquitex matte gel medium, which is basically a heavy bodied acrylic paint without pigment. And I figured I could just put that on the plate and then put the pigment on top of it while it was still wet, and I should be able to get better results. So basically creating my own paint. But of course the consistency is different because the pigment ink refills are so oily. So you do get a different effect, and things are muted. The colors aren't as bright, but it was kind of fun to do that. I tried that a couple different times using this Circle Circle stencil from Stencil Girl in different ways using the Liquitex matte gel medium. And this time I'm adding quite a few different colors. I'll list the Stampin' Up! Colors below of what colors I use so you can get an idea if you're familiar with those colors. I assume they probably still have a lot of the same colors. So there I am cleaning up the stencil. I ended up getting an interesting ghost print on that, whatchamacallit, craft deli paper that will show up sometime in the video. There I'm just trying to lift the rest of it off, so I put some white acrylic on there. That was a total fail. I don't know why, but it was a total fail. It did not work. So whatever. So then I decide I'm going to try some black to pick up all the rest of the crusty bits that might be on there. And I end up getting an interesting print. It's not what I expected, but it did pick up a lot of the stuff. So whatever was left, I ended up wiping off with a baby wipe, I think. Oh, I did try to pick it up, but it wasn't coming up. So, oh, that's right. I decided to try picking it up with a tag, and I ended up getting some interesting texture, but a very muddy color on that tag. So that was kind of weird. I'm not really sure what muddied up the color. I think that it probably was the ink not being dry, because since this is a very oily ink, it's not drying on the plate. And then it's getting picked up by the acrylic that I'm putting over the top to try to pick it up, but it's mixing into the paint, and I'm just getting some weirdness. So I decided to use the little ink applicators right onto the plate, just drawing some swirlies, and that was kind of interesting. When I used the brayer over the top of it, the brayer picked up the pattern, and I was able to roll it out onto this piece that you just see right there, and the pattern was there. Then I tried a couple different things to clean up off the 6x6 plate, And then I finished up by putting a thin layer of Naples yellow over the leftovers and tried to pick that up on the back of this cardstock. Not what I expected again, but there's a lot of interesting pattern on there, just not as clear as you would think. And it's just because the ink is not drying on the plate at all. And all the techniques that I'm used to, I'm letting layers dry on the plate, but that ink's just not ever going to dry. So is this my favorite thing? Probably not. I'm an acrylics girl, but I'll probably try to play with it some more at some point because I have all those ink refills. I have to use them for something at some point. I'm going to have the ink pads too. I never use them. I never was really a fan of pigment ink. So I decided to switch to Oxide ink because I have it. And um, Oxide, Distress Oxide, is a hybrid. It's got pigment ink in it, so it's got still some of that stuff that doesn't dry as quickly, but it's also got dye in it, and then it's got that whole thing where if you apply water to it, it oxidizes. And so I decided to try some of it by just putting it directly on my plate right from the pad, and then trying some different mark making tools and stencils and things with it. And it worked much better than the pigment ink refills, um, because this ink is designed to eventually dry. So if you don't have pigment inks, I wouldn't go buy them. Um, they're great for embossing, and that's about the only thing. They were the answer to uh, trying to make something that was archival. Back in the day, before we had Ranger's archival dye-based inks, which dry very quickly, the only thing that was good for your scrapbooking and things was the pigment inks, and that's the reason they're around. Um, that and embossing, because they don't dry. You can put embossing powder on them, and they stay wet long enough to grab it. So I have 48 colors of that stuff, and I don't even use it. So the next day, day 15, I think it is, or 14, tissue paper. My first idea of what to do with tissue paper is to use it to make some patterning on my paint on my plate, to make kind of a crumpled tissue paper um, with crumpled tissue pattern on it. So I was layering some different colors, starting with ivory black and then that brilliant purple, and then light bright magenta on the big plate, and then I put phthalo turquoise, phthalo blue green, which is phthalo turquoise to me, on that other plate. And then I went to pick all this up, um, also saving that piece that had the uh, marks of paint on it, which was also kind of interesting, the one I was used to make the marks. But what I discovered, again, I have my fan on in my room, and oh, that's a piece of napkin that I put on the 6x6 over there. This would not come off the plate. I had a lot of layers of paint on there, and I put tissue paper, just regular standard tissue paper over it, and I could not get it off the plate. It was like, grr. Looks cool, but it's all torn up and shredded. So I'll just be using it for, collage, which is what I'm going to use this for anyway. Tissue paper is great for collage in that it's so thin that it blends right in when you glue it on. There's no like ridges or anything like a heavier paper. But as you can see, it's a little bit tricky to print on it. So that piece is a piece of deli paper. I was trying to clean up some of that stuff off the plate. I ended up just taking the whole plate and going and washing it in the sink and getting all the stuff off of it because there was paper stuck to it. Yeah. So then I thought, okay, tissue paper. Tissue paper is translucent. When you put it on a collage, the great thing about it is that it's translucent. So if you're going to put a bunch of opaque paint, on it, then it's going to make it opaque, and then you're losing the whole tissue paperness of it. So I thought, well, I have these Artesia acrylic paints that I got from their company, and I noticed that they have a marking system on them. I mean, a lot of paints do. Golden does. you know, excuse me. Um, that's not like, oh my gosh, wow, it's got a marking system. But I explored the marking system on it. I knew what it meant. And so I got those paints out and I was looking for the ones in the box that are translucent. And then I was also still using those neon paints that I got from the Tuesday morning because they are also translucent. And then I figured in that way I would get tissue paper that's still translucent instead of putting a bunch of paint over it, which then defeats the purpose of it being tissue paper. But still having a lot of problems with the paint drying on the plate way too fast. Way too fast. This one I couldn't even get it off. I, I ended up using, a regular heavy body or medium body paint to get it off, that titanium white. So that one's a little bit more opaque because titanium white is opaque, but the patterning on it is cool. I think I bring it closer. There we go. Yeah, from the stencil. So these are all interesting experiments. So then this one, I just got through explaining to you how I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to use the more translucent paints, not the opaque ones, because I want everything to be translucent. And so I put this blue and red on the plate through a stencil, and I just wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking about what goes in front of what and how it's going to look. Because as you can see, I put in a more opaque paint over the top of it, which is a sienna. And what happened? It was translucent paint, you idiot. That means that you can't see it hardly at all. Still an interesting print, but yeah, this is so then I redid it and I put the darker paint underneath and then put the other colors over the top, which was the effect I wanted. But that side with the red on it just dried instantly. It was like seconds it was dry, so I couldn't get it off. So I ended up putting some unbleached titanium to pick up all these crusty bits. And actually this piece is a 12 by 12 deli paper, and it reminds me, it's like Americana. It reminds me of the grand old flag or something. So when it comes to be summer, I'll probably make something with that's patriotic around the 4th of July for the American Independence Day or something. But then I had a lot of stuff left on my 6x6 and, just layers and layers and layers. So I decided to pick up some of that. And I was also trying to get the stuff off my 12 by 12 that was in the middle. There's big crusty bits. When they get to be really crunchy, they're not as nice. So I don't like the real crunchy ones. So I just continued to try to lift the paint off my 6x6 onto this piece, and I actually ended up with some really cool prints on that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's becoming a series. It will continue on into April. So keep your eyes peeled. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.